Hey,
What
we were
is the
talking.
agenda?
We were talking Dr. Drew earlier. Let's harp
Okay.
on that because we're getting at
Let's
him
up on that. Yeah,
on the
this
internet.
is it's a big day for Dr. Drew. He's been all over HLN and CNN, and I'm sure other networks.
Oh wait, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyway, and of course he's part of this whole agenda of telling you that you have an illness, that you have a mental illness, that you're addicted to drugs because you were born addicted to drugs, so you have to take these drugs, these opiates, this methadone.
That's what I have to say about that.
And okay, if you notice that CNN, all the shows on CNN and HLN and all that, all these shows have Prozac and Zoloft and commercials all everywhere. It's just, it just doesn't stop. That's why the media doesn't really criticize
Sounds
these
like
companies.
Drew is taking a page right out of the Silver Linings playbook, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and I want to we got to talk about this thing also. Silver Linings Playbook
SLP.
is nominated for an Oscar, and it's basically a movie that pushes the antidepressant, psychotropic,
agenda,
pharmaceutical prescription agenda.
Big Pharma, they call it.
Yes.
And which could also be Big Psych added into that.
And you have these big pharma talking heads like Dr. Drew, who is been in the news today for a very good reason. The country singer Mindy McCready just died, and it's it's sad, real sad. But she joins a elite group of dead people. She's number 5.
The stars that have been whacked.
In the 2 years that Dr. Drew's show Celebrity Rehab has been on, this 2-year period, there have been at least 5 that we know of his celebrity patients that have died directly, almost immediately after leaving treatment with Dr. Drew, right? Because the thing is, Dr. Drew, and everybody knows this, because it's on television, he prescribes his patients methadone. He prescribes his patients legal alternatives to crack and heroin that can kill you even faster. All right? And then he badmouths Vicodin, but then at the same time prescribes Zoloft and other shit like that to his patients. You know what I mean?
He knows what he thinks about this.
And he thinks that marijuana is like the devil. You know what I mean? So this guy's a total fucking fraud, and I can't stand that guy. He's a murderer. All right?
Drew is the doctor. He's the devil's doctor.
Dr. Drew murdered the bassist from Alice in Chains. I mean, come on. Can you get that through your fucking head?
That was a great fucking band, man.
Yeah, we'll never see another band like that. You know what I mean?
They tried to do it with a new lead singer. This is like black guy. It sounded decent, but
it's all right, but it's not the original. I mean, but the point is,
but that
it's
was
not
when
even
Star
just
was
that.
alive.
I mean, he killed Rodney King. He murdered a historical
figure,
civil rights figure.
Yeah, I mean, we have multiple confirmed, and besides besides the deaths, I'm sure many other shattered lives, like Tom Sizemore and all these other. Hey,
and all these other people that are addicted to his crack, his methadone, what he's pushing on them. They're all his fucking slaves, and he's their pimp, and he's making millions of dollars off these celebrities that are hooked on all these prescriptions that he's giving them. He is a fraud. He's not getting people off drugs. He's getting them on other drugs.
And he knows jack shit about actual drugs. I've heard him say the most asinine comments, which are in his field of so-called expertise. And it's bullshit. He doesn't know shit. The average person, the average housewife, knows more about addictive drugs than this guy. I don't care what kind of boards he's certified by. Internist, addiction medicine specialist. Hasn't been an addict.
Yeah.
Probably only knows the addicts that have come through his doors, his gates.
And it's hilarious because he himself admits that treating celebrities is unique because exposing their inner struggle and their personality flaws and their, secrets and all that on television can make them even more suicidal, can make them even more.
Absolutely.
It can become even a bigger problem.
It's
so his show
private.
can be contributing to these people just totally open. opening up on television, and then once they realize what they did, they become suicidal. You know what I mean? It's just, it leads to that. Celebrities are very fragile personalities, especially these drug addicts who have been, on drugs, their whole lives. That's why when Charlie Sheen, Carlos Estevez came out and stopped doing drugs, he got clean, and he was all crazy and just full of energy because he hadn't
chilling
been
with the smoke and hotties.
Because that never happened to him. The sobriety was a new high for him, right? And that's what it is. You have to be able to just give up cold turkey. Rehab doesn't do anything. Trying to wean yourself off of one drug with another drug, that's what Dr. Pinsky pretty much recommends.
I mean, Dr. Drew has the nerve. He has the nerve to say shit like, celebrities are very egotistical and they're narcissistic and they have to be treated in that manner.
Yeah,
that kind of generalization.
Because he makes money off of their despair, like their self-destruction. These guys, this show is entertaining. Of course, I've seen it because you see these celebrities self-destructing on fucking television, and Dr. Drew is making millions and millions of dollars off of this shit.
You tell me a principal motherfucker would have a show called Sex Rehab? Get out of here.
He tells you. Look,
forget about it.
Now he's trying to tell you that being horny all the time is a fucking disease. Like what?
Just anything.
And he's on HLN, which HLN is the worst. Like because they exploit the kidnapping of children and the murder of children. And you know what happens is when
Nancy Grace type.
Yeah, Nancy Grace. Like when a child gets abducted and Nancy Grace goes on television and goes nuts, the killer panics and just kills the kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens. The media doesn't understand that sometimes when the media freaks out and panics and talks about something, they end up affecting the actual case. That's why a lot of times cops are trying to tell the media, like, look, man, can you not overplay this? Like, can you not, go out of your way to fucking jump to conclusions and all that? But that's all the media does. And HLN is all a bunch of fucking opinions about, a bunch of wrong opinions.
And you know
about
what it is
why
too?
People do things, about why people get murdered or why kids get kidnapped and all that, or why people do drugs and all this shit.
You know what it is? It's about getting the scoop and attempting to be there first rather than reporting the facts in a dignified way and getting the facts right of the case. And even in the scoop thing too, everything covers the same shit anyways now. All the channels and networks are going to be on the case real soon. So it doesn't even matter if you get the scoop at this point or the breaking story about this guy or Dorner or whoever or the fucking latest child mercenary kidnapping, what have you. They jump it before the facts. It's disinfo. They're getting a little piece of the story and they're trying to fill the rest in. Fucking time filler killers. And Drew.
Yeah, we're on to you,
Expose.
Dr. Drew. Yeah, it's just look, man. These people make money. Like, what I'm trying to say is these people like Dr. Drew and Pierce Morgan, these guys make money off of these tragedies. Like, nobody would even know who Pierce Morgan is if it wasn't for Sandy Hook. Like,
shock doctrine.
Pierce Morgan has been that guy who every time something happens that involves guns just freaks out. And now he's become that's become his benchmark. That's become his trademark.
It's all about the Benjamins.
You know what I mean? So that's his stick. Nancy Grace, her thing is murderers and shit like that, and kidnappings, child murders.
People without very much grace.
Pierce Morgan's thing is guns. His crusade against guns.
We're having a assault weapons debate this very evening.
We're having yet another debate on the assault weapons ban. Yes. and so everybody, you got to find your thing and what becomes the theme. Like, our thing was Santorum for a while.
That's your thing. Your thing will always be Santorum.
No, but that's what made our first few episodes. Now he's not relevant anymore. But
it was
that's
the heat of the Republican.
Relevant.
It was the heat of the Republican primary. So
Santorum we were focusing while everybody was focusing on things like let's say everybody in the truth media was just focused on Ron Paul, not trying to make fun of anybody else, but just focused on getting Ron Paul in there. We were just focusing on making fun of Santorum and Jason Russell. You know what I mean? That's our shtick, or whatever.
We walk with a big shtick.
We have a big shtick, which is, we bring you the information, but we also bring you the comedic aspects of telling you exactly what's on the fucking mind.
Promote the show, man. Promote that shit.
Yeah, let me hit that shit. Let me try this shit.
Yeah, get your digital crack pipe right here, man. Talk about electronic cigarettes. We're in the future. This is real talk. See, this is unfiltered. Y'all might try to say, see, here's what happens. When you go out there in the media, people automatically try to expose you as a shill, right? So they'll be like, this dude's wearing the Rock Nation sweatshirt and shit like that. And they'll be like, oh, you're exposing these guys. Who is this?
Well,
who are you to say this, that, and the other and impugn Dr. Drew and all this? What I'm saying is this is the unfiltered. This is not corporatified. This is just actually two people, YouTube shit.
But I'm telling you, like, in the future, when we're the United States of Bloomberria, they're going to basically, like, they're going to put chemicals in these. They're going to put all kinds of crazy shit in these.
Oh, there's already some shit, man.
There won't be any more cigarettes, but then we'll be getting cancer off of these probably. They'll find a way to kill us.
Man, ain't nothing paranoid there. Oh, the phone's ringing. The house line is ringing. Get in there. Hey, man, too important. We're doing too important of a show right now.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't take any phone calls.
And
right
what
now,
else?
Maybe later.
Yeah. So, and what else is, happening out there? I can't think of a thing.
Okay, so we're talking about Dr. Drew and how he's a murderer. Yeah. And that's because of the country singer that just died. But I'm trying to think of who else just. Oh yeah. There was another child that was connected to the Obama inauguration that basically died in Chicago again, where they're right now trying to push for yet more gun control laws. God damn it, stop calling me.
Forget that.
All right. So yeah, no another little girl is being made a martyr for gun control in Chicago,
so this
where
is
there's already a lot of fucking gun control.
So this is the second young girl. Is she black as well?
Yeah, and she knew, and I think she knew it was related to the other girl that was shot or something like that.
Oh, sure.
And her sister sang at the Obama inauguration, so it's all connected again. So
yeah, and so the second young girl from the inauguration, shot in Chicago.
Two young girls from the same neighborhood again, same area of Chicago where Obama came from, and it's hitting home now. It's becoming like a personal crusade for Obama now. You know what I mean? He's like, no, it's personal.
I guess drug dealers don't take Tony Montana's lesson anymore and refrain from killing kids. Now I guess it's all fair game, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what's behind this, but it's obviously going to be used. These girls are going to be used as martyrs.
Second Amendment martyrs?
No, martyrs against the Second Amendment, yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of. Kind of the same thing, but also not.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you could make the argument that if these girls were packing heat, they'd still be alive. You know what I mean? But I think the bigger argument is if Chicago wasn't infested by the mafias and drug lords, it wouldn't be where it is. You know what I mean? If people could defend themselves against the drug lords that rule everything, rule and rape and everything and rob everything, then, Chicago would be probably a lot nicer. You know what I mean?
The Lords of the Rings.
And I've said this before. Like, look at where all the places where gun control is rampant. It's mostly areas. Oh, fuck this phone. It's mostly areas that are heavily populated by minorities, and they do this because minority communities, especially black communities, have been the target, have been the testing ground for gun control, for fluoride in the water, for abortion. Like it's on record that when abortion first became legal, they legalized it first, like in all the black areas where there were a lot of black people, and so white people were accepting of it. They're like, oh, abortion is wrong, but it's to keep the black population down, because at the time people were hella racist.
It's eugenics.
It's eugenics, and it started. Guess what state all this shit started in?
I don't know.
Take a wild guess. What state the eugenics program that led to Jim Crow and led to basically all the oppression of black people in the 20th century? Look like a damn historian. It was California.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say California.
California was the birthplace of the American, Nazi eugenics attitude of that I think still prevails within the LAPD and
a perfect segue.
And white supremacists and Nazis all around California.
No, this is true. The Nazi agenda is forward marching, and let's discuss that. Now, what about here in our fair city of Los Angeles? Have you noticed the heavily increased cop presence? since the Dorner case. Let's discuss that.
Yes.
Been, in the nice areas, much like where we are
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
there's been all kinds of, I've seen it, my neighbor's seen it, I'm sure you've seen it, where cops with their sirens on actually doing shit, patrolling areas where they historically haven't even been very much, aka the more nicer things. What have you spoken on that?
Well, yeah, I mean, in this, okay, we're just gonna say where we are, Santa Monica. All right,
we're around there.
I've seen a lot. Since I've lived here, I've seen many homeless people get beaten and abused by police. Like they'll have like 6 police officers for one homeless person, or like 8 police officers or something like that. And I'm seeing more and more and more of that, and I'm seeing more police everywhere, police cars everywhere.
But specifically in the last like 2 weeks,
since the Dorner thing. Yeah, I think I've seen a little spike. Yeah, a little spike.
We've noticed it, but we know, and I mean, with the announcement of the drones flying over Big Bear in LA, drones over Dorner.
Yeah, the drones, they're definitely gonna put money into the drone program. The $1 million that didn't get used for the Dorner bounty is probably gonna go to the drone program and, survey and watch everything.
High energy.
And it's not just like drones, like planes and shit like that.
I call them Dorns.
It's like cameras everywhere, and cameras on your iPhone that can.
We've seen them. Oh, like this joint.
Like this iPhone that's watching us right now.
That joint right there.
Hi.
The hello.
So
black
everything,
boxers.
everything can be tracked and traced, and your iPhone is a fucking basically a recording device.
But with these drones that they're flying, they probably can spot more crimes from the air and thereby deploy the police anywhere they want, including, areas that are usually unmarked.
And they use your iPhone to find out where you are, and then they fly a drone over there, And these drones can be like also very small objects that you don't even see in the sky. Like they're like little toy helicopters and shit with cameras on them.
And everyone in these high ticket areas has the iPhone or whatever it might be, some smartphone, so that much making them that much more traceable. That might be the one thing for the ghetto. They have some like burner flip phones that you can't trace as much,
Yeah, I mean,
of course you still can.
I told you about this, and I'll tell everybody else if they don't know. In Santa Monica, there's a store on the 3rd Street Promenade, which is like the big like shopping area, where you go up the store and there's basically a telescope there that can see the entire promenade. Every person on the promenade, you can zoom in and see inside of people's nostrils and shit. It's crazy.
What, Jigga?
Yeah, you go up there. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there. I went there a long time ago, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You can see everything. And in that same store now, they have a drone, like a toy helicopter drone with a camera on it that goes up in the air and just flies around the promenade and watches everybody there.
There's an amazing picture that I pulled for the last video we made, with just pictures and us talking. And it's someone from, I forgot if it was Raytheon, Lockheed Martin maybe, and a guy's demoing a drone at like some trade show, just in some convention center or whatever. And this shit looks so crazy, man. It's like the LAPD drone or whatever. It has like a red and a blue light with 4 like arms, like spider legs on it and stuff. It's hovering in the air with a rotor blade. Like this shit is nuts, man. And it's out there. You see one of those things. It's one thing. Yeah, if you see it in the sky, it's one thing. But if the thing flew down and was right in front of your face, you'd be like, what the hell is that? It looks like some sort of alien pod or something. And that's what we got.
Is there anything in the news
about streets?
Is there anything going on with the alien conspiracy agenda? Like, what's going on there? I mean, I haven't really.
You haven't followed that? Well, it's really just, the only thing that goes on is more sightings. People taking more videos and pointing out more shit, and then the latest case, wherever it may be, over Texas or Japan or whatever. I remember there was a big thing when the Fukushima happened like 2 years
Russia
ago.
thing. Like,
the Russia,
that's
the
right
one.
there.
Yeah, the Meteor. We talked about that.
I'm saying that's kind of a ufology topic.
It is.
We don't know where it came from. How come the Russians weren't able to somehow predict it?
Was it a secret weapon? Did they shoot it down? Was it a crashed meteor? Was it a crashed craft?
Didn't we have? Didn't NASA set something? They said on the news that something was going to come really close to Earth, and it did.
The asteroid.
Yeah.
They said there was like a bigger asteroid or whatever it may
They
have
said
been.
it wasn't gonna come that close though. They said it was gonna like swoop by, and it ended up pretty much crashing.
Or well, yeah, was it a chunk falling off? They said it came within
it
17,000
blew up in midair,
miles.
and then it little pieces of it are everywhere, and but it crashed in some ice, something like nobody got killed.
Was the meteor used as was the real big
caused
meteor?
I think it caused like earthquake. It caused some damage.
Was the
maybe,
real
or something.
big meteor out there used as a cover for like the testing of a weapon or a craft down
I mean,
here, and
supposedly
then it went down?
there were people were injured allegedly, like thousands.
No,
of people
like
were
100 people were injured. Well,
Like,
there's a
they
big
said
fucking
it was more
explosion.
than 1,000 that were, or something like that.
There was a big.
Yeah.
I saw amateur video, and the explosion happens when it's in some dude's balcony, and it's fucking loud, and it rocks the whole shit. Like it was a
But
legitimate
nobody died.
bomb.
But nobody died.
I don't know.
They said because on the news they said it was like 10 times. It produced an explosion 10 times the size of the atomic bomb. But I'm like, it didn't kill anyone, so it must have hit a part of Russia that's not very populated because it only injured a few people.
It was like
It didn't kill
frozen.
anyone.
It was like
Allegedly
frozen
didn't kill
river,
anyone.
frozen wilderness. It was a type of area. It was like
But that's strange.
outside
Oh,
the
and
city.
then there was another meteor sighting in Northern California that just swooped by in the sky. It obviously didn't crash in there, but it just swooped by like really fast. So what is going on? Are we experiencing some kind of meteor shower attack?
All the skeptics, all the crazy shit that the skeptics said doesn't happen or wouldn't happen. It seems to me like so much of it is actually
And
happening.
this just happened today. This in Northern California.
A new meteor?
Just
I hadn't heard
swooped
about
right
that.
by, yeah.
But you can be sure it's going down. The sky is falling, man. If you believe the sky is falling, it will start falling. So the secret goes, perhaps. Not that we fuck with all that, or we do fuck with
But
it.
our magnetic field, like we have like
Our gravitas.
we get like meteors that get deflected by our magnetic field like every day. Like it happens all the time.
And who knows what kind of space shields and shit we have up there,
so
man.
there's near misses happen all the time, but we have our magnetic field usually pushes them away. The small ones pushes them away, so they never end up hitting us. The bigger ones, like the one in Russia, like they don't like that one exploded. It might have exploded into our magnetic field, kind of like as a shock. You know what I mean? Like it came into our magnetic field, just blew up, and then just came in, just turned into smaller pieces and didn't really kill anyone. So maybe this whole fear of the whole deep impact scenario is just paranoia, because this shit happens all the time and never really kills it never ends the world as.
And all you care about is Justin Bieber. There's aerial phenomenon, there's sky phenomenon, there's people look. The Pope apparently has a telescope called Lucifer.
Oh yeah, apparently the Pope is blind
or
in his
the
left
Vatican.
eye.
Left
I
eye.
mean, the Pope soon to be no longer Pope, or already no longer Pope. I don't know, man. He
28.
retired,
He's stepping down
but
in
he's
10
still
days.
he's still on television.
10 days,
talking.
Pope steps down. The last Pope.
I think
you heard about
maybe-
the lightning that hit the
that
Vatican, right?
he was nominated for a Grammy, the Pope, this year.
I didn't. Michelle Obama was
But
too.
Michelle Obama won the
Michelle
Grammy.
Obama won it
Michelle
over the
Obama
Pope?
beat the Pope.
Oh man,
at winning a Grammy.
And you heard about the lightning.
But that's
Hold on, listen,
maybe that's
listen.
why he's
heard-
retiring. Maybe
you heard-
he got snubbed at the
fool won't listen
Grammys,
to me.
and he was like, "No, I'm just trying to."
Talking over ass motherfucker.
No, but I'm just trying to finish my
Oh
point.
yeah, let's hear it.
That the Pope maybe got snubbed at the Grammys,
Oh.
and he's like, "Damn, Michelle Obama is more popular than the Pope. I'm just gonna retire now. Fuck this."
Man.
I mean, maybe
No,
I'm
but
just
he
saying.
said-
That's
I
what
think-
I thought at first.
It did happen right afterward, the announcement, didn't it?
All right, but what were you saying, man? You were
I was just saying, were you aware of the lightning strike that hit the church, that hit the Vatican? I think it was St. Peter's Basilica.
I heard
right
about
when
that,
the Pope,
yeah.
the same day that the Pope announced he's stepping down.
Before or after?
I think it was like the night of the day that he announced it, something like that. But it's like, bam, this one lone lightning shaft hitting it. It's some crazy fucking supernatural, demonic.
It'd be interesting to find out
madness.
if it happened before or after he decided to.
Oh, that's true.
Because
I'm-
maybe
I'm
the
pretty
lightning
sure it's
told
after.
him the lightning happened, and it was like God's way of telling him, "Dude, you got to step down."
It's like there's a lightning house in your church. But yeah, between that and losing the Grammy, the
Yeah.
Pope's having an off year.
But think about it. The Grammys this year proved that Michelle Obama is more popular around, well, at least in America,
elite circles.
around elite circles than the Pope is. Like the Pope
for sure.
used to have control over everything. You know what I mean?
She's young and
the
cool.
Pope is
He's
now,
old and
yeah. The Pope
frumpy.
is, yeah, exactly. The Pope is now kind of like a despised figurehead, especially in the light of all the child molestation scandals and all that.
These little batches.
But this guy, this Ratzinger guy,
J Rats.
he's been kind of like the secret pope for a very long time. When the other pope went kind of senile and couldn't control shit, he was the one running shit.
Covering up the pedophilia.
Ratzinger was running the popery.
Yeah, the flowers potpourri.
He was running the popetry or whatever you call it. Yeah. While the other guy, John Paul, was withering away and dying. So he naturally became the successor because he was kind of already the pope. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's been pope for a very, very long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like
so
George
that's why
W.
now
Bush,
he's retiring. Yeah, because
it's like George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, he's
with
been
Reagan
the puppeteer for a
everything.
very long time. Yeah, like Reagan, Pope John Paul was Ronald Reagan, and he was George Herbert Bush. Exactly.
There we go. So, what are your final thoughts for this installment of our show?
I don't know. What's up with predictions?
Oh, always prediction. Well, can predictions change that much from like 2 days ago when we made the last ones?
Yeah, of course they can always change.
We could cover different topics, maybe. Perhaps who the next pope will be, or developments in.
I mean, yeah, there's talk of like Desmond Tutu or something like that becoming pope, but which would be consistent with biblical,
Wait, I mean, forget it. The predictions are shit's going down.
Shit's going down. But the point is, the Pope used to be the most popular person in the world, and now the most popular family in the world is the Obama family.
They're the most famous.
They're the most. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's cover this.
So that's the new Pope. That's the black Pope that the Bible talks about and shit like that.
Do you think Obama will betray his drug dealer roots even more in the upcoming year or two or whatever? Because we know, if y'all, we hit on this.
Yes. Obama, CIA agent, drug pushing, shares the video of him in the womb. There it is, video dressed up like a drug dealer.
Shares commonality with Jay-Z in the fact that they're both former crack dealers.
He said in a speech, me and Jay-Z, we have a lot in common. We came up the same way, everything. He was just, and Jay-Z is like his best friend. Like
we had to hustle.
His best friends are Jay-Z and fucking, Tony the Tiger Woods.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. So, by the way, that's an interesting thing that he spent the weekend, President's Day weekend, without his family, hanging out with Tiger Woods with no cameras or media allowed. That's an interesting thing because usually
man and the pussy man.
Because usually Obama loves the cameras. He usually and the press is always following him.
Shooting and all that.
And then this weekend the press is like, "What the fuck, man? We want to see you play golf with the Tiger."
Like, well, I can't deliver on that promise.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be hitting the links.
Most people like to spend President's Day weekend with their family, but the president spends President's Day weekend. It's his day, so it's kind of like his day off. Like it's kind of like. It's kind of like, how bitches have like girls' night and they go out and cheat on their boyfriends. Well, I think that's Obama. President's Day is like
he's with the ultimate athlete who cheated. Like,
exactly. He's hanging out with Tiger, fucking mad bitches. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like it's almost the perfect scenario because he's not letting the media around and he's hanging out with a serial adulterer and his family is in another state. It's the
nothing lines up
shitstorm.
There.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And will Obama be more exposed for what will he be exposed for in the second term of his presidency?
Probably everything. Because think about it. First term was all about trying to keep all these secrets like down. The birth certificate, all this. Now it's all coming out. Now, there might be a Supreme Court hearing on the Obama fraud commission of Orly Tate or something like that.
Orly Tate.
Yeah, she's been going around going to all the courts and trying to prosecute Obama and basically make a case that that he's a fraud and with using I think records from Columbia University or some shit like that. And so there's all that going on and it's getting the green light more and more. Guys like Arpaio are getting the green light to investigate Obama's birth certificate, controversy and all that. So there is kind of like a mainstream movement to expose Obama, even to impeach Obama. I saw something on Facebook the other day that Lyndon LaRouche is ready is basically accusing Obama of war crimes and all kinds of shit. So he's Lyndon LaRouche is always calling for impeachment of everyone.
Oh, always.
You know what I mean?
But no, forget that LaRoucheite stuff. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's
but
on
there's
the boys'
definitely
holiday.
there's definitely a movement now. The Republicans are kind of joining Lyndon LaRouche.
Imagine
a lot of Republicans are trying to get on that and start
imagine how disappointed the Obama knots will be by the end of the second term. If they thought they were by the first term, it's going to be a lot more. It's neocon city.
It's going to get crazy. I mean, now that Obama, you know, has really pissed off the Republicans with his gun control shit, like, it's going to get, like, he's pissing off a lot of people, and he's pissing off a lot of people with guns. That's another thing, you know. So,
dun, dun, dun.
So we'll see what happens, and it's all very interesting. It's all very fascinating.
Sure it is. Maybe to us. I don't know about to you guys. All right, we're out of here. I'm just saying.